In an age when so many malls are struggling or dead, Park City Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania has managed to hold its ground. With no vacant anchors, a solid mix of national retailers, and a steady stream of shoppers, it feels more like 2005 than 2025 in here. It's bright, active, and shows what a well-maintained, well-located mall can still be in an ever-changing retail world. Park City Center has a long history that stretches back more than 50 years. Construction began in 1969, and the mall was designed by Lathrop Douglas. It's got a unique layout with 4 wings named after the seasons, radiating from the center court. The original anchors were JCPenney in the winter wing, Sears in the spring wing, Gimbels in the summer wing, and Watt and Shand in the autumn wing. When construction was completed, the mall boasted 1.4 million square feet of leasable space, making it one of the largest shopping centers in the region. The mall celebrated its grand opening on September 22, 1971, but 3 of the anchors actually opened before the mall itself. JCPenney was the first, opening its doors in July 1970. Gimbels and Watt and Shand followed in September of 1970. And Sears took a little longer, opening in 1972. There were originally 100 stores in the mall, of which 4 are still open today: JCPenney, Kay Jewelers, Claire's, and Spencer's. There was also a basement level below the winter wing. At various points, the lower level housed an ice rink that later became a roller rink, a movie theater, a mini golf course, bumper cars, and even the studios for the local CBS affiliate, WLYH-TV. By 1985, the basement level had been transformed. The entertainment attractions were removed to make way for a 5th anchor store, Clover, and one of the first mall food courts in the country. The term food court was still so new at the time that the mall's marketing team had to explain the concept to shoppers. At the same time, the main level received a minor facelift. Unfortunately, the fountain in the center court was removed. Gimbels closed with the chain in 1986, with Pomeroy's opening in September of that year, but only lasting a few months. However, Boscov's would open up in that space in 1988. Watt and Shand would then become the Bon-Ton in 1992. The food court is very impressive. It's packed with lots of people and only a few vacant spaces. It's got quite a few big names like Burger King, Sbarro, and Annie Ann's. The kinds of places you would expect to find in a food court at a thriving mall. Clover closed in 1996 with the rest of the chain, but was replaced by Kohl's in 1997. Around the same time, the mall was once again renovated. A carousel was added, but that was only here until 2004. The piano you're about to see and hear is one of 19 that were placed around Lancaster by an organization called Music for Everyone. Anyone can play them. Pretty cool if you ask me. By 2003, the Park City Center was 100% owned by General Growth Properties, or GGP. In 2005, GGP began a major renovation that updated the center court and added new flooring and ceiling treatments throughout the mall. A few years later, they built an outdoor lifestyle section on the southwest side called the Fountain Shops. This $13 million streetscape brought in higher-end stores like Williams-Sonoma, Banana Republic, Sephora, and White House Black Market, with tenants opening between November 2007 and May 2008. At the same time, the Bonton was expanded by 37,000 square feet and fully renovated, with a grand reopening being held in October 2008. After all of this, the mall had grown to about 1.43 million square feet, with around 170 stores and services. Brookfield became a part owner of Park City Center in 2016 after acquiring a stake in GGP. 2 years later, in 2018, Brookfield fully acquired GGP and took complete ownership of the mall. They still own it today. Around the same time, though, the mall would lose two anchors almost back to back. The Bonton closed in August 2018, followed by Sears in March 2019. Losing anchors is never a good thing for a mall, but Park City Center was able to replace both of them eventually. Round One Entertainment took over the former Sears space in March 2021, and Raymore and Flanigan moved into the old Bonton in November 2024. As of now, the mall once again has no vacant anchors.
Taking her to get her nails.
What you're looking at now is the old Wat and Shand and later the Bonton. The escalator on the right used to lead up to the second floor. From what I've read, Raymore and Flanigan does use the second floor, but it seems they've chosen not to use the second floor entrance. I recognize this vacant storefront on the right as Finish Line. They were recently acquired by JD Sports, which has a store here, so that's why it's closed. So, what is it that makes Park City Center so successful today? For one, it's well maintained. Clean, bright, and modern, it just feels fresh. There's also a healthy mix of national retailers and food options, which helps draw in a wide range of shoppers. And it still has a full roster of anchors, 5 in total, a rarity today. Another key factor is location. Park City Center is conveniently located right off Route 30 and close to Route 283, making it easily accessible for both local residents and visitors from surrounding areas. It's also the only enclosed mall in the Lancaster area. The next closest are York Galleria, about 25 minutes west, and Berkshire Mall, about 35 minutes north. Park City Center offers a wider variety of stores than either of those, and it's managed to pull in customers who might have shopped at those malls in the past. This place is a real contrast to some of the other malls I've visited lately. It feels like it's still in its prime. It's got an occupancy rate of about 85 to 90% by my estimation. I couldn't find an exact figure, but there are very few vacancies. I even saw a few coming soon signs for stores set to open in the near future. This mall is still attracting new tenants. And what's especially refreshing is that Park City Center isn't some ultra upscale destination like King of Prussia. Sure, there are a few higher end tenants like Michael Kors, Apple, and Sephora, but it's mostly middle class friendly stores. It's not trying to be exclusive. It just feels like how going to the mall used to be. Bright, busy, and familiar. The kind of place where you might stop in for a pretzel, browse a few shops, and maybe even run into someone you know. In 2025, that's getting harder and harder to find. Straight ahead is where Gimbel's once stood, then very briefly Pomeroy's, and now Boscov since 1988. Off to the left is a staircase that used to lead up to the second floor restaurant, which closed around 2010. Here's a picture of what it looked like when the balcony was still intact, although this was taken a little after the restaurant closed. It actually reminds me a lot of the old Strawbridge and Clothier restaurant at Neshaminy Mall, which also sat on a balcony overlooking the mall.
Yes, it is near you.
Personally, I think York Galleria is a better looking mall, with its pastel colors and vintage 80s design that's remained mostly unchanged over the years. In contrast, Park City Center has a more modern appearance, but at the end of the day, most shoppers care more about the overall experience, store selection, activity, atmosphere, than whether a mall looks retro or modern. That said, I do appreciate some of Park City's design elements. The snowflake layout is unlike any other mall I know of, And the tent roof over the center court is a really cool feature. At the end of this corridor is where Sears used to be. Today it's Round 1 Entertainment. And one of the big reasons Park City Center continues to thrive is its ability to keep anchor spaces filled. No, Round 1 and Raymore and Flanagan aren't your typical anchors, but realistically you're not going to see Macy's opening new locations anymore. Most department stores are scaling back, not expanding. So malls have to get creative if they want to replace anchors, and Park City's done a great job with that. That's going to do it for my visit to Park City Center in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. In a time when so many malls are fading away, it's refreshing to see this one still going strong. And I think it's safe to say this mall isn't going anywhere anytime soon. If you've been to this mall, whether recently or years ago, I'd love to hear your thoughts and memories in the comments. Don't forget to like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe too if you haven't already. Thanks for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.